Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess, ready to do your weekly read. This read will go from the 9th to the 15th, and it is the reading for Libra. So, Libra, what's going on for you for the next week? Okay, so I am using the After Tarot here. I do want to say if the Libra sun sign reading doesn't work for you, go and check out your chart at Cafe Astrology and have a look at other aspects of your chart, because it may be your moon or one other aspect may resonate more for you this week. I'm not saying you've got to watch every sign, but the ones that are most dominant, of course, your moon, your rising and your Venus, especially if you want to know about love, your Venus is really strong there. Okay, I just feel like I need to shuffle these a little bit more. Beautiful, that feels better. Okay, Libra. What are you going to be working on this week? For some of you, this is working on a relationship, putting in your part. For others of you, this is about going to work, maybe working on a project, bringing in money. Some of you can be working on a new baby, bringing someone new into the world, but it's definitely something that you're working on here. I always think of this card as about marriage. Oh, and we do have the devil behind it. So you could be dealing with a Capricorn. There's some issue here about not being told the truth. Oh, okay. And behind that we have the Eight of Swords. Alrighty, you want to work with someone on something. I don't think the other person is ready to work with you. There is this feeling here that this person has issues or problems with commitment, and they're deliberating on whether they want to speak a truth with you or not. There's some issue here about ego, about somebody being bound to something else. Okay, so it could be that you want to create a relationship with someone, but they're unable to do this with you at this time because they're either bound to someone else. They may well be in love with you, but they're not telling you the truth here. They're withholding this because they don't want to commit to you. Now, keep this in mind because sometimes this can be the other way around as well. So you could be in love with someone that you don't want to make a commitment to because you're involved with someone else at this time. So very, very interesting sort of pre-read there, but let's get some more information. Five of Swords coming in here. So you could have moved away from somebody because they weren't committing to you. This is the card of winning the battle but not the war. Feeling victorious doing what you've done, but not necessarily feeling good about the outcome of it. So this person here is, standing here with all these swords, but they've got nobody to celebrate this win with. There's confusion here. Maybe you've walked away from an illusion or something or somebody that's been deluding you, confusing you. You've walked away from a situation that was confusing. Okay, I'll tell you where I'm going with this in a moment. We do have an offer coming in here, but I also think that this guy knows how to love himself more than anybody else. So I can see where this reading's going. Here's the card of working. You may be now ready to put your head down and get into your workplace. You're turning your back on this person, so you're no longer working on this situation. You've walked away from something that was love for you, maybe love for the other person too, but they're not putting in their part. You want to move forward with someone down a brand new path. You love this person, but you're going back inside yourself to see whether you really want to keep working on something, because I feel with these cards here like this, that you need to take a very good look at this again. Because you're trying to shine a light on something that you are feeling very passionate and in love with, but that may not be ready to take this walk with you. Okay. Okay, Six of Swords here. So definitely moving away from something and closing out some sort of cycle here. And here comes the Tower. Should have known that was coming. I could feel that in my bones. Okay. You want to work on something, but the other person in this situation can't. They are bound to someone else, or they're bound to some sort of situation that looks quite codependent here. There could be an issue with this person's ego, because I see someone that's confusing you here who is not able to commit to moving forward on something. They're not being truthful with you though. So, okay, the way it looks to me is that this person does love you, but they don't want to commit to you for whatever reason. It's something to do with the way they want to live their own life here. So even though they love you, they're confused and they're unable to make a decision because they want to invest in themselves. So you may have someone who's a player or a person who is living their life with lots of options rather than pinpointing one and staying with one. Now, that doesn't mean they don't love you here, because it looks to me like they do. But you've made the choice to walk away here and renew your own life. You've made this decision to shine a light on yourself, to put yourself first, which is really good. So you're going back to working on yourself, you're going back to healing, you're moving away from this situation, closing this cycle out. You're not returning at this point in time, because there's a Tower here. So what we've got here is we've either got a lesson that's been learned from this situation that you will never go back and do again, or we've got some sort of change to the situation coming out in the Tower. I've done a bit of the clarifying today. Often the readings are just so clear to me, I don't need to put extra cards on them. But when I end up with something like the Tower at the end, I think I can't just leave it there. I need to work out what this Tower is about here. I feel like I should have just taken, it's about commitment. There's something here that's hidden. This person can't commit to you at the moment. It's all major arcanas. Look at that. So we have the Tower followed by the Hierophant, followed by the Moon, followed by the Magician, followed by the Justice card, followed by the Chariot, then followed by the Two of Cups, and then the Wheel of Fortune. That's a lot of extra cards. I normally wouldn't do that, but because they're major arcana, I think, Libra, you need to hear this. This person is unable to commit at this time. They are either married or they're in a relationship that maybe is karmic, and they've got to work out for themselves, like you have here, how to escape that situation. That's why the Devil's there. So there's some sort of karmic situation that the other person has to get themselves out of to move forward. This doesn't mean that they don't see you as their soulmate. And the universe is trying to get them with this Justice and this, the Moon, the Magician, Justice, and the Chariot. The universe is trying to get them to see how much better things could be if they move forward. And they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So there's a Tower. And this Tower is to wake them up. It could be in some regards to move you forward as well, but I think you've already moved yourself forward with this decision to walk away from this relationship because it's not giving you what you want. So you've gone, I am too good for this person. This person is not my person. That's what you're doing here. And you've walked away going, well, if you don't love me, if you don't appreciate me, I'll go and find someone else who does. And you're doing your healing from this situation, which is great. However, for them, you've started them healing. So you've been the catalyst here for them bringing in their own healing. But in order to heal themselves, they've got to walk away from the situation they're in at the moment, because they need to release this devil energy. So it can be about the ego. It can be about the fact that they are very self-centered, very much about themselves, and they need to understand how to break away from the ego. But it could also be that they need to break away from someone else. So the card that's come out for you here is Celebration. And it says this is a wonderful time in your life. Difficulties fall away and the light at the end of the tunnel is a star you can wish upon. The timing is right to make long-term plans for a joyful future. Have faith that things are going to turn out beautifully. So whichever way this goes, it's now up to the other person to do their part. That's karma. Thanks, everyone.